Thank you all for coming to celebrate the birthday of the honoriest man I know. That would be good. But we're going to do a roast of this man who is the most deserving man I know and the funniest man I know by far. And I'm sure all of you have some crazy stories about him. And I want you to come share them whenever I'm done, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start with mine. One of the funniest stories growing up with him is I was probably 17 and I had a date come to pick me up at my door. And this man puts on full-on Rambo bullets strapped across his chest like this. He has a pistol in every pocket, in his little pocket up here too, and a 12 gauge. And he opens the door to my date, and he goes, talks to me, he goes, "Are you here to pick up my daughter?" And my date goes, "He's in the car." And he was like, "You have her home by 11. And to this day, he says it's the only day I ever made curfew early.
That dude let her out a block up the road and took off.
That's what it was like growing up with him. We had this Christmas tree that I still hate to this day. That's about this tall, and it's automatic. So it's motion sensor. So every time you walk past it, it goes, "Merry Christmas, jingle bells, jingle bells," and it's really loud. And he would hide that around the house at night. So when I came home late, and I would walk past it, and the kitchen would start singing "Merry Christmas" at me in June. You know? They'd be in bed before I ever made it home. But I hate, and that tree is still in their house to this day, and I still hate that tree. It got me in more trouble than anything else I ever did then, for sure. So honestly, I love you very much. It was a lot of fun growing up. You know, I think I'm probably the most unoffendable woman that you'll ever meet. And people ask me why I am the way I am, and I think everything is funny. And I can't imagine what someone could possibly say that I would think was offensive. And that's because I grew up with him. You all know him.
All with gray hair.
It was all from my sister. She has this. We're not going to tell that story today. He did screw on my screen, but I'm not going to go into further detail. I met Gary on it's been like 20 years ago, but him and Guido
I met her, I got her in jail.
him and Guido were at the Holiday Inn, what was it called? Bobby Sox. They were celebrating Gary's divorce. And I came with another, I worked in Huntsville, and I was meeting some folks from Huntsville. And I walked by their table, and they're like, "Oh, honey, come sit with us." I'm like, no. They looked like they was from the mob or something, you know. So I was like, "Oh, no." So then in a little while, my friends got there, and they said, "Oh, there's our friends." So then next thing I know, we were sitting with them. He called me the next day, and we've been together ever since. So it's pretty funny. So you just never know. So
Thank y'all for coming.
Just typical theme of what we've been hearing. But I've learned a couple lessons, and I'm not a gambler very much because my dad taught me to not in college. Right after Christmas, my sister was dating a guy who was twice her age. And
10 years older.
she was 16 and he was something like 30. So, of course, Papa wanted to take all his money, and mine too. So we sat down and we gambled, obviously, and I lost all my Christmas money. And I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And he laughed, and he said, "You shouldn't gamble."
How old were you?
I was in college, so I worked at Tyson, $5 an hour, going to college, barely had any money, and he took all my money. But he gave it back to me the next morning. Lesson learned, next morning he did give it back to me, but he reminded me that I should never gamble. So.
We never played cards ever again.
It It was a bad deal in our house. My mom said, we're never gambling in this house again. She went and got poker chips. We were never going to play with real money.
It was bad.
It was a lot of money to me.
I wish you felt sorry for me the next day.
And the first time we went on a family vacation, me, my sister, mom, and papa went to Biloxi. We went there because there's a beach and a casino. So we go to the casino. Mandy and I are underage, so we had our fake IDs. We gamble a little bit with papa. We decide we're going to go to the beach, so we leave him at the blackjack table. We go to the beach all day, all evening, not back yet, haven't heard from him. Go have dinner, go back to the hotel, go to bed, wake up the next morning, he's not there. We're like, oh gosh.
There you go.
Inslee, or
There's your guinea worm.
Jim Inslee was sitting here and a bunch of us, and you were, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months pregnant. And I owed him $100 for something, I can't remember, church something, it doesn't matter. But, I walked up and put my arm around Mandy, and Inslee didn't know what we were doing, and I said, I'd pay you, but I need this money to buy diapers. And he thought that maybe I would. It worked for a little while, but sorry about that, Mandy. I was trying to figure out a way to beat him out of $100. I'll tell you what, we've been, oh Lord, we went to Las Vegas, I think it was 1994, with, oh boy. Well, let's see, it was you and I and Larry.
That's it.
And that was, well, there's nothing, I forgot about the hair dryer, but,
Yeah, that was hair dryer.
yeah, but, couple days, we were there the first night, and I come back to the room, and Gary can't find him, don't say anything about it. The next day, I can't find him. I come in late that afternoon, and there he was, sprawled on the bed, money everywhere, and he didn't, I don't think to this day, if he knew he had $1 or 20 million, it didn't matter. He was having a ball. But we started playing blackjack at the Golden Nugget. And oh my God, I bet we sat there 20 hours.
Yeah.
But you paid for a boat that day, and we had a good day. I mean, everything went like it should, But poor old Larry, well, never mind. He got in trouble with a hairdryer by talking about his hairdryer one afternoon, and for some reason he got back to his wife about the hairdryer, and he just had to be there. But
Well, he was sitting in his chair, passed out, and he's mumbling,
yeah.
"Yeah, blowjob."
Which I was trying to be nice about it.
We didn't hear all that.
It was bad, but I'll tell you what, we just got, you name it, we went with Tweed one time, went to Vegas. That was a bad day. I was on a pretty good run, and he said, we got to go eat, and that was the last time I was on a run. And, oh Lord, it just, too many good times, I can't remember. It's a shame, because we've done it all, About 1994 up, he used to work for Eddie McNeil at Goff McNair, and when he closed down, Gary and I got the car business together, and look out. How it was.
That took a toll on me.
Yeah, you was what, 22 then? That was
What were you doing as well?
11 and a half. But things been good. I have no complaints. We've had a lot of fun together, and we're going to continue to have a lot of fun together.
You're gonna have to start drinking if we're gonna have any.
Well, I tell you, it's going to take 12 years, and I'm going to have a beer with you before I go, home. That is. But Linda, you did a great job, dear. We had a lot of fun together going to. I remember one night, oh Lord, we're sitting there, and where we used to go.
Tuesday?
No, the bar. We went to so many of them, but where Linda and we all used to go on Friday nights. Bobby Sox. I'm sitting clear back against, and Linda wasn't there. And all of a sudden, I heard this commotion. What in the hell? And Gary's out in the middle of the dance floor fighting.
No, shit.
You weren't? What were you doing?
Fell down.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought, well, here we go.
Damn bouncer had his arm around my neck, put me
So
on the floor.
I thought, well, I better get in the middle of this, see what's going on. So he tries to go out one door, and I go out the front and open the door, and I'm looking at a badge. Oh, no, we are going to jail. There's no doubt about it. And he's trying to go out the back, and of course they've got it all corralled off. But that was just one of the many nights that, see, he was always getting me in trouble. I was minding my own business, you know, and then he's out there in the middle of the floor fighting. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, I can attest to that, Guido. I've always,
Thank you.
he always got me in trouble.
Yes, sir. Oh,
And Steve thanks too.
If I raise your hand if he got you in some
Linda, we gotta be proud of you to put up with us. Because, you know,
You guys make him happy. All you guys make him happy.
I'll tell you what, then Mary came along about 5 or 6 years later, and she got me from drinking 1 beer a month, well, maybe 2, and then now to none, so she saved my life more than likely. But it's been a run, that's all I can say. We've had a run, and yeah, we're gonna keep running. Might have to do it in golf carts or something, but we're gonna keep right on running, brother. You know, somebody else come up here and make a fool of themselves like I
That's
have.
hilarious.
Okay, it's show's over. Here comes the bug.
Oh, my buddy.
Don't be making this shit up, man.
I've been round and round, a few rounds with Zito from time to time. We'll see our friends. I could never make friends around Zito because he'd tell everybody, I got my bodyguard, don't bother me. He'll hit you. Nobody liked me. So every time I showed up with Zito, everybody just put their head down, didn't say nothing.
Needed that bodyguard.
We've had a good time, but I could never make no friends around him. Because I was always supposed to be the mean guy.
You was always drunk.
Well, and that is probably true too. But happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm glad to be here, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
Travis,
I've always tried to take care of him. Keep him in line.
didn't do a very damn good job, did you?
You know what I'm saying?
I said you didn't do a damn good job.
Oh, one time he almost got us thrown out of an airplane and we were at 30,000 feet. Yes, the worst thing you can do is delay a flight for him and I. We get to Springfield and we have a 2 or 3 hour delay. Of course, there's only one place to spend that time, and that's in the bar. So of course we saw a couple of wayward lasses and bought them a couple of drinks too, you know. I didn't realize the one that affected him quite as much as it had. We got on the flight.
No.
200 people with us, Jim King, Jim McKee.
Back up and tell them the way it was. They had to come in here and get
We
you.
were sitting right there, we were sitting in the front row, right where we belong, you know, in the front row. Tim, he went back to look at the door and, McKee sat somewhere in the back. Well, here come one of the little girls that we'd adopted, walked by and he touches her on the lower back, you know. Doesn't have a nice flight. Lower back, too. And then Attila, the stewardess, is right there and said, one more trick like that, you're out of here. You know? Out of here? Keep your hands to yourself, Bill. We're 30,000 goddamn feet up. So he said, okay, well, give us a drink. You can't have anything to drink. I said, well, there can be a drink. You can't have anything to drink. Got to find out at the back of the plane, all the tickets were on the same tab. He couldn't have anything to drink. McKee couldn't have anything to drink all the way to Vegas because he was so fond of this little gal we adopted.
They were so drunk we couldn't sit up.
I was not, you were, yeah. Stewart is making out of that. One time we flew to Tunica. We're at the horseshoe. We fly in probably 5 o'clock in the evening, which is time to have a toddy. Is our luggage here yet? He says, Dave. I said, no, it's not here yet. Well, go check the room. I said, I will in a little while. I'm playing. So I played. I go up there probably at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Come down. He said, luggage here yet? I said, no, it's not. Well, go check again pretty soon, you know, and he's got this drink girl coming. Probably about midnight, I went up to the room, and there was the luggage. Right there where they set it. You know, you don't have to be in your room, so they just opened the door and set it there. So I saw it, put my stuff up, took a shower, and went to bed. Next morning, I get up, I go downstairs, and there's this guy. He's got tickets sticking out of every pocket to cash. $100 bills. Hell, he has them all around where he's sitting there at that slot machine. I said, what the crap are you doing? He said, luggage there yet? Yeah, the luggage is here. He said, well, what time is it? I said, 8:30. He said, well, I'm going to go to the room then. I said, no, we're going to get something to eat. I said, it's 8:30 a.m. Kind of fell out of the stool, scooped up a few dollars, you know, off we went and got something to eat. Well, I saw him about 6 o'clock that evening, and he was walking like this, and his neck, he was rubbing his neck. I said, what the hell's the matter with you? I found the luggage, and I stripped the day on the floor.
We told Linda at the pool a year or two ago about the first time I ever talked to you 4 or 5 years ago. Mr. Phipps, Scott, Mike Sinnis. Scott, who gets probably along with Zito because they're one in the same pod. They can tell a fish story like no end. And if you feed into it, they will add more and more and more to it. So I'd heard about Zito and Guido, and Scott would call Zito and make blessings. So, and I'm a Packer fan from Wisconsin, and I wanted to pet on the Packers. I didn't know that they had played the day before. The Packers. She said Packers. Appreciate your respect to my Packers. So anyway, Scott told me I want to bet on the Packers. It's like, no, yeah, I do. He said, well, call Zito. And I said, you call him. So Scott dialed him up and started ringing him. The phone. I said, you tell him. He said, just talk to him. So Zito answered the phone, and I said, Zito, this is Joni, Scott Phipps' girlfriend. I said, I want to bet on my Packers. He got quiet. Then he chuckled and said, no, they didn't play today. They don't play today. They played yesterday. And he was just laughing. And then him and Scott exchanged laughs when I gave him the phone back. So this wasn't telling on Zito. This was just telling on me. So glad you contributed to that.
From then on out, I was sure to get you a schedule.
Oh, yeah. You want me to bet that? I won once.
She goes, oh yeah, I used to have one of those too. I know what you're talking about. So I get mine out, you know, I'm gonna have a Christmas deal, and next thing I know, Zito's on the internet, eBay, and I got my 4 foot of track in my box I'm pretty proud of, you know, my couple of cars. I guess he's got a whole shop now. I've never seen it, but I've heard about it. 2 different remote controls, cars going this way, that way. And, you know, whatever I did, he just had to, not 1 step, 2, 3, you know, a whole elevator up higher than me. So I guess he felt so bad for me that Christmas, he got me a box of tracks. I got like a few more feet of track to go around my garage.
Car with some whiskey bottle.
Oh yeah.
Drank the whiskey.
I don't know how he got into my garage, but one of our freight cars had those miniature bottles coming around one day, and he left the train on. I got in from work, and there it was, going around. I'll never forget that. Thank you, Zeno. Happy birthday.
Well, I didn't travel any with Zito, but I got to know Zito several years ago when he would bring Linda and Mandy and Melinda in the Arts, and I was working there. And a couple of gorgeous girls, they were just beautiful. So later on, Zito came down there, and I'd always ask him, I said, Zito's them girls married, or what's that? And he'd tell me, yeah, they wasn't married. Where are they working at? Well, they're working over here, she's over there. And I'd say, well, I'm available now and everything. And I can't really tell you what he told me, but more or less, I said, I could be your son-in-law. He just more or less told me to stay away from his daughters. He didn't want to be, my son-in-law. But anyway, and that would ruin our friendship. No, he didn't want me in the family is what he didn't want. And I'll tell you, another guy I used to hear about all the time, one of the grandkids named Isaac. Where is he? Isaac. Oh, yeah, there he is. He used to be mentioned all the time. Was he the one that was in your stuff all the time? Yeah, he's the one that turned the motor and blow around. Yeah, that's just what I thought. Terrible, wasn't he? But anyway, Linda, we want to thank you for working all this time. If you hadn't had that job, he'd have been busted at all the time.
It's taken all of us.
You were the one that kept him afloat. If you weren't working, he wouldn't have been able to come down and see you.
Thank you guys. She wasn't working.
I know that's not bad. If she wasn't working, you couldn't have made it. I know it. But anyway, happy birthday, we love you.
Thank you, buddy.
We really enjoyed it. Thank you.